Hey, it is Rick Kamla taking a break from table tennis betting and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. What's up, everybody? Doc, we've had some fun here. Me, you, and Andre talking, chopping it up, and I don't know. I'm just in a good mood, man. Happy to be back on the air with you, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited for the Bet Online read to see if you're going to mention table tennis in that.
I Bet Online might have table tennis for you. I actually don't know. They give us a promo. I read the promo. Table tennis is not on the promo, but I welcome you to go to Bet Online and investigate whether they. I would imagine that they do have table tennis betting, but I can't guarantee it. Anyway, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action, even if it might include table tennis betting. Baseball season's in full swing. We're into the NBA and the NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, the news, the scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. I won all three live bets on OKC in Game 5 as that escalator was going up. I just went bang, 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 and then and made some money. Largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, UFC. BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and a live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, Doc, we have made it. This is the end of our top 120. This show right here. It's been a fun run, dude. So the rankings for the 120 are based on 8 cat totals, all right? So let's dive in. Our first guy here today is DeAndre Hunter of Cleveland with an 8 cat total ranking of 111, 8 cat per game, 121, 9 cat total ranking of 104. Doc, he played 64 games. Do any of these rankings represent DeAndre going into next year? And for the draft, are you fading him, drafting him at value, or reaching up to get him?
I wish he was a starter in Cleveland. He comes off the bench. He's the sixth man. He makes them a better team in reality. His career numbers are okay, like 15 points, 4 boards. He doesn't get steals. He doesn't get blocks. And he gets you a couple of threes. It's hard to take guys late that A, don't score a ton of points, or B, don't do a lot of stuff that's going to help you in fantasy. I like DeAndre Hunter as a player, but I think he should probably be drafted. Okay, but I'm looking for a end of my draft flyer on him because I just don't think things are going to get any easier for him in Cleveland going forward.
I don't think, Doc, that these numbers are representative of DeAndre Hunter. Is he a top 120 guy? Is he a guy that I would draft in round 9 or round 10 of a 12-team league? He is not. There's way more bang for the buck at that point of your draft. I might entertain an end of draft dice roll on Hunter, but here's why I probably wouldn't even do that. At the end of your draft, like a guy gets hurt in preseason and the backup has looked good, okay? And the backup, for the most part would be completely off the radar, but now he's on the radar because the starter got hurt. I would take that guy, whoever that guy is, over DeAndre Hunter because of the potential pop and all that. I mean, DeAndre Hunter with Cleveland, 14-4-1 waiver wire, one defensive stat, like 0.3 blocks, 0.7 steals. That's god-awful, terrible, gross. 2.2 threes, which is barely redeemable. This is a waiver wire stat line, guys, and he played in 27 games for Cleveland, started only 5 of them, played 25 minutes. I mean, he played less minutes off the Cleveland bench than he did off the Atlanta bench, where he got 29 minutes and scored 19 points. And you got to think, you got Okoro, you got Max Strus. Ty Jerome's a free agent, but maybe they bring him back. But you've got Sam Merrill, and you've got Craig Porter Jr., and you got all these guys. Maybe Amani Bates gets into the mix next year. I don't know. Cleveland is the second deepest team in the NBA behind Oklahoma City, and that hurts DeAndre Hunter. Hunter is, for me, a guy that I won't be drafting. So I will be fading him, and I don't believe those Rankings right there represent his value. Let's talk. Oh, by the way, Andre told me that BetOnline does offer table tennis betting, and apparently there's some big tournament going on right now. I am playing. I don't know any of these guys. I'm literally betting minus 240, minus 250, minus 260, minus 270 flat, and I just don't even know who these guys are. You think I know table tennis? How do I have time to know table tennis, college football, WNBA, NBA, MLB, and NFL? I don't know table tennis. I'm literally just playing a market here, but it's been fun and moderately successful so far. I say that because I don't want the book already has their eye on me, Doc. So I don't want to talk too much and get all crazy here. I want to keep it humble, keep it on the humble tip, bro. So number 112 here is Buddy Hield. 112 was his 8-cat total ranking, 8-cat per game ranking 202, 9-cat total ranking of 110. Games played 82. Buddy's an availability guy. I love me some Buddy Hield. In reality, this is a fantasy conversation. Do any of these rankings represent a man named Buddy? And next year, he will be back on Golden State. They will be deep as heck. And are you fading, reaching, or drafting at value?
Oh, man. I did not enjoy the way. The problem with Buddy this year was he plays for Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr could never figure out what the heck he was doing with his team. And Buddy's minutes were all over the place. One night he played 25 minutes and have a good game. Next minute he played 13 minutes, and it was like that. I'm just going through his game log right here. Like these minutes, 31, 35, 28, 30, 29. That's all good, right? Then it goes 14, 26, 18, 20, 18. Like, I don't know what happened that he decided in the middle of February to just stop giving Buddy Hield minutes and taking them away. But it was like that all year. And you cannot have a good season if you're playing on a yo-yo for minutes. So Buddy Hield is what he is. I mean, if it's late in your draft and you need a guy who can possibly score you a bunch of points and hit you a bunch of threes, you roll with Buddy Hield. I think those rankings are probably okay. I don't think he can have a worse season than he had this past year because Kerr just messed with his minutes so hard. So I think the rankings are fair, and I think there's a chance Buddy has a bounce back this coming season, but I don't trust Steve Kerr with him.
I don't agree. I don't. I think Buddy Hield is in the Steve Kerr rotational soup, and I don't think he's going to get out of it. Your starting five next year is going to be Steph, Moody, Podziemski, Butler, and Green. That's how I think they'll go. They got away from that a little bit. I mean, they had to start Buddy Hield in the playoffs, right? Guess who was hurt? Steph Curry. He was the Curry replacement. I mean, these numbers for Buddy Hield, and again, love the dude, but 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Gross. 0.8 steals, 0.3 blocks. Gross. 2.5 threes. Okay. For those who care about percentages, we're not good here either. 41.7%. What Buddy does is he plays games and he hits threes. He's a waiver wire guy. How else can I say it? He's not a top 120 guy. He's not a top 150 guy. He might be at the edge of the top 200, but it's a major fade for me, and I love me some Buddy. He's an in-season waiver wire guy. A guy gets hurt, Buddy's starting now or Steve Kerr has a whim. Has a wild whim and wakes up, I need to start Buddy Hield. You learned through Anthony Slater that the Warriors are going to start Buddy Hield tonight. All right, maybe you pick him up. Maybe you stream him. Maybe you rock him in DFS. That's who Buddy Hield is. He is not a mainstay on your team. He's a streamer. He's a waiver wire guy. That's all I got on Buddy Hield. All right, we got Aaron Wiggins up here next. Doc of the OKC Thunder at 113. That was his 8-cat total ranking. 8-cat per game, 174. 9-cat total rank of 99. Games played, 76. Do any of these rankings represent Aaron Wiggins? And next year, Doc, is he draftable for you?
I mean, maybe the 174 comes close, but 12 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, no blocks, just about 2 threes. Like, he had a nice season for OKC. He's a great role player for that team. And when guys go down, it's next man up, and he's perfectly capable of stepping up and filling in. But he's just not a guy you can rely on a fantasy team. He is young. There is some upside there. But again, OKC is about as deep as any team in the league. And it reminds me of like a litter of kittens, and there's always a runt that can't get to the food. OKC's got a bunch of dudes eating, and it's going to be hard for the role players on that team to get there. So I'm not drafting Aaron Wiggins.
Me either. Doc, think about this. Nikola Topic is going to be joining the party next year. How rotational will he be? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Kenrich Williams, Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams. I think Jalen Williams is a free agent. I'm 99% sure on that. By the way, I like Jalen Williams.
Big Jalen.
The big Jalen, Jaylin, the Arkansas dude. I like him, Doc. Wasn't he 2 for 2 in starts with triple doubles this year, or 3 for 3 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, the guy can play, and he's a good defender too. He's a really good defender. Puts a body in you, moves his feet well. I'm not saying he guards like Smalls. I'm saying he's a good big defender. OKC has a team option on him. They will certainly pick that up.
Thank you for that intel, though. He doesn't even play in the playoffs.
Well, that's how freaking deep they are.
I know.
Dude, Jalen Williams could start for... I tell you what, I'll say this right now. Jalen Williams would be the starting center for the Orlando Magic. I like him more than Wendell Carter Jr. or Goga Bitadze. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Where... Jalen Williams, where do I have him on here? Where is Jalen Williams? Do I even... Dude, I went through the whole thing with free agents. What? Maybe I saw that OKC has a team option on him, and I didn't even put him down because I assumed they would pick it up. That's probably the thinking that went in there. All right, so Jalen Williams will be a Thunder next year. And you're going to have Topic join in the mix. And whoever else, Doc. Doesn't OKC have 16 draft picks out of the 60 picks in the 2025 NBA draft? I don't damn know. I mean, my boy Ousmane Dieng can't even get time on this team, dude. Ousmane Dieng is on ice. By the way, you see him pop that three? You see him pop that three in garbage time, dude? My boy Ousmane Dieng.
Ousmane Dieng.
Homie can play, yo. He's just never going to get a shot at all on OKC. He's never going to get a shot. All right, Aaron Wiggins. So they got too many dudes, man. Aaron Wiggins had a nice little pop year. He did. The one thing I will say, he's not draftable. He's not draftable. And no, these rankings do not represent him. He's probably not even, like, maybe, the 174 maybe, Doc, right? Okay, is he a top 200 guy? Yeah, he's probably a top 200 guy. Who cares, though? That's waiver wire stuff way out there. There might be more rest for OKC next year, assuming they win this championship. You're coming off of 68 wins, a chip. You're trying to win another chip. And we saw what Boston did this year. They rested more this year than they did on their way to the championship. And so that would lead to more goodies for Aaron Wiggins. But again, that's on a streamer basis. All right, SGA's resting on a Thursday night at Sacramento, second of a back-to-back. Fire up some Aaron Wiggins. I mean, that's who he is. He's a streamer off the waiver wire. All right, Doc, let's keep him moving here. Klay Thompson, is next at 114. That was his 8-cat total ranking this year. 8-cat per game, 155. 9-cat total rank was 109. Games played was high at 72. Do any of these rankings represent big game Klay? And next year, Doc, are you fading, reaching, or drafting at value?
I feel like this last year in Dallas was the year. Like, it's either he's going to be awesome or we're going to know 100% that he's done. I'm not really sure either thing happened because he was okay. 72 games, I was impressed by that. 14 points a game, that was okay. 3 threes a game, okay, that's Klay, that's good. But 0.7 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. There just wasn't a lot there. We've got Cooper Flagg coming in to Dallas. we've got Kyrie Irving probably going to miss half the year with his injury. So I don't really know what that means for Klay, but I do know he's going to be 36 years old before the season ends. And I don't think I'll be surprised if he makes it through 72 games again. I'm going to let somebody else take a late flyer on Klay. I'm out.
He's an end of draft guy. He is not a top 120 guy. The 155, the 8 cat per game, probably pretty indicative of where his value is. He's last pick of the draft kind of guy, but he's probably not going to be sticky on your team either. You're probably going to 11 points, 9 points, all right, 18, and then back to 10. You're going to be like, waiver wire, I'm cutting him for some hot pickup early in the year. I liked what you said, Doc, a lot about how last year was sort of that last chance. Like, are you going to go to Dallas, and is there going to be a rebirth? And are you going to like stay where, stay at about 18 a game, or like where are we going? The fact, he plummeted down to 14. You mentioned the 3 threes, which is nice. That's an elite number, but that's what keeps him like on the draft fringe. But it's a major fade for me. I'm with Doc. I'll let somebody else rock with Klay. Because, and you may be like, well, what if you need to chase some threes late in your draft? What I would say to that, confidently and pridefully and not arrogantly, is that I'm a really good drafter, and I'm not going to be in a spot. Doc, we build our teams, right? It's not like you just half-ass take guys. You take guys that fit. You take guys, like there is like maybe a little bit of a hustle to get steals in round 5. Like you look and damn, I don't really have any steal guys here. Go take Suggs, right? Or go get somebody who's going to give you 1.8. So you do play that game a little bit, and you do it with threes as well. Wow, I'm a little light on threes here. I almost never say that, but theoretically, if I do, well, then guess what? Then you kind of hustle up, and you take a 3-baller here, you take a 3-baller there. You're not waiting until the last round to make your 3-ball category. You have to always have your eye on the 3-ball category. So Klay is a waiver wire guy for me, Doc. He's a streamer, and I could see the numbers actually dipping down a little bit lower this year. Think about it. He's Dallas's 2, right? Could he get squeezed by Najee Marshall? Could he get squeezed by PJ Washington if they decide to go jumbo with Flag Davis and you've got Gaffley up there at center? And I don't even really, frankly, right now know who their point guard is going to be. Let me go to my Dallas depth chart
Brandon
here.
Williams, I think.
Good point. Brandon Williams is there because I'm looking here. I cleaned it out. Like Dinwiddie's a free agent. He ain't going to be back. Exum's a free agent. I don't really think he'll be back. Jaden Hardy's under contract, but he's a 2 and a 1 body. He's not a point guard. Brandon Williams is kind of low-key green lit right now, isn't he, Doc? Pending maybe a Jrue Holiday acquisition or a Chris Paul pickup. Brandon Williams looking kind of tasty on that Dallas squad. But there are reports that Dallas will be looking at a Jrue Holiday, which how do they make that money work, dude? He's at like 40 or something. Jrue Holiday's on a huge number, or in the 30s at least. Let me go to Jrue. What was his contract? I believe he's left 32, 34, 37. Bro, who in the F wants to pay Jrue Holiday $30+ million for the next 3 years? Bro, you are paying for a name on the back of the jersey. Andre says they can make the money work. Totally cool. Why would you want to make that money work? I get it. Dude, go get Chris Paul. Doc, go get Chris Paul, right? He'll start. Kyrie will come back. Then Paul will come off the bench, and he can play some big minutes. Hell, maybe Paul starts. Klay comes off the bench. Kyrie's your 2 at that point. I don't know, dude. But bringing in Jrue Holiday at 3 years, like $100 million, to me seems like a really, really stupid idea.
What's awesome is we're going to talk about Jrue Holiday in about 15 minutes. we ain't even hit him on the list yet.
Great point. We are rounding out today our 120, okay? And we haven't even gotten to Jrue Holiday yet. That Doc's right. That should send like reverberations or, oh my God, Jrue Holiday, where are we going here? But all right, so we talked about Klay Thompson. Let's move on here to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So he's 115, 8 cat total ranking. 8 cat per game, 181. 9 cat total ranking was 97. He played 77 games. Do any of these rankings represent KCP? And next year, Doc, are you fading, reaching, or drafting at value?
At 181 is pretty close. What a disastrous year for KCP. After getting shipped out of Denver and having, championship aspirations, they went in Orlando and just kind of a mess of a team that was played above their head, actually. They were better than I thought they were going to be, but they still kind of a mess. His lowest scoring output since his rookie year, which was in 2013. He scored 8.7 points per game this year. A lot of times you didn't even see him in the box score. Like he was there, but he had zeros. And it's just like, what happened to KCP? It's not like he was ever a really great player, but he was at least impactful and had some meaning in a box score. Now, less than 9 points, less than 2 assists, no blocks. He did have 1.3 steals, and he did have 1.5 three-pointers, but he looks like he's in no man's land in Orlando. So, he's not draftable.
No, he is not. The 181 is probably somewhat representative. The 115 and the 97 is a hell no. Top 100, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, give me a break. Top 120, no. He's not draftable for me. He's a complete fade here. And I still like KCP in reality. Here's why the huge fall off. Doc, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner take every single shot for the Orlando Magic. They take every shot. They suck all the oxygen out of the room. Here's another reason why, Doc. The Orlando Magic last year didn't have a point guard after Suggs got hurt. Anthony Black is a guard, not really a point guard. I just look at him as a guard. He can play point. He can play two. He's big. He can shoot. He can pass a little bit and play make a little bit. But he's just a guard to me. Corey Joseph, I mean, he's 100 years old. He's not out there diming and drawing defensive attention and creating gravity where you can, drive and kick. So KCP used to play with Jokic and Murray, bro. Guys that were great at passing the rock. Okay, so they run the little two-man game. It's shut off. Okay, swing. KCP, wide open three ball. Bang, they go crazy at Ball Arena. That doesn't happen at OKC. So it's just a different way. It's not like KCP sucks. It's not like he got paid and like slept and I'm good. No, like DeAndre Ayton got paid and was like, dude checked out. He just went, Doc. He went check please. He got paid. Like it didn't check please. Like you got to leave. Like anyway, I don't think that's what happened here.
Ferris
it's just
Bueller.
Ferris Bueller. I can't think of another reference on it, but anyway, I think you guys get the point. KCP not draftable next year. Waiver wire fodder. Here's an interesting name. Pardon me. Let me clear my throat here real quick. Doc, talk to the people about Santi Aldama for a second here. I'll just give it to you. 116, 8 cat total, 8 cat per game rank of 123, 9 cat total rank of 102, and games played were 65. So based on that, the question is, are you viewing Santi Aldama as a top 120 player heading into next year?
I've kind of been into Santi Aldama the last couple of years, but I think it's over. As long as Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr. are healthy, I just don't see a path to Aldama being much better than he was this year. I mean, this is sort of who he is and what he's going to do. So if you need 12 points, 6 boards, maybe a steal and maybe close to a block or a half block, and a couple threes, he may work out for you. But I think he really needs an injury to live up to the ranking hype. The low end of that, the 102, the 116, and even the high one, 123. I just don't know that there's enough of a path. I think that ranking represents the player, but I don't know if there's a path for him to have any upside outside of that?
I think there's a little. He's not a top 120 guy. Am I drafting him in the 10th round? No freaking way. No freaking way. Am I drafting him even with the last pick in my draft? No. There's gonna be a more hypey, buzzy. Doc's got his my guys. I've got my pop players. And sleepers and all that. No, I'm just not excited about him. Do you know what I'm saying, Doc? Like, he's a good player in reality, and Brandon Clark being out may create an opening for him to play 25, 26 minutes off the bench and do some goodies and do a little 10-5 thing. No, I'm not feeling it. Gigi Jackson may be a little bit more involved this upcoming season. I'm not sure if Isolo is a fan. Gigi got to get his game back together a little bit or whatever, but he kind of lurks as a guy that could siphon some playing time off of Santi Aldama. I just see he's a six man for the Memphis Grizzlies, a really good player, but I will be completely fading him and not drafting him, and I don't believe that those rankings represent this player. Is he a 10th round guy? No, he is not a 10th round guy. To me, not even close. All right, let's move on here to Bub Carrington. This is interesting. He's at 117 with his 8-cat total ranking, 8-cat per game, 201, 9-cat total rank of 144. So we're all over the place here. He played in all 82 games. Do any of these rankings represent Bub? And next year, Doc, are you like high on him? Are you reaching for him? Are you drafting him at value or what?
Well, I thought he was going to have a better rookie year than he had. He only scored 9.8 points a game and 4.4 assists. But he also had a lot of really good, fun games at times. And he was just never able to put it all together and be a consistent baller all year. So I still like Bub Carrington. I think Bub Carrington will be a sleeper again this year. I think, you can get him late, like 140, 130 and somewhere in there. I think he's worth a flyer because there's so many unknowns with the kid. He only shot 40% from the field. That's the biggest problem he's got, I think, going forward. So if you got a team build around good field goal percentage, you don't want anything to do with Bub Carrington. If you don't care about field goal percentage or you're punting, Bub Carrington has a chance to really grow on those numbers. And the numbers, if you think about it, 10 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, almost a steal, and 2 threes. If those numbers go up somewhat substantially this year, if he can get to 15, 6 assists, and 1.2 steals, and 2.0 3-pointers, you're going to have a guy that's on his way to being good. So I like Bub, and I think I would use a late pick. Bub's the kind of guy I'd like to use a pick on late in the draft because he's young, there's upside, and there's, things we don't know about him. It's like, ooh, this could work out really well.
Bub is an example of what I was just talking about, right? Where it's the last pick in your draft. Are you going to take Kelly Oubre or Klay Thompson or, some of these guys where we kind of sort of know exactly what they're going to do? Or are you going to kind of swing for the fences with a Bub Carrington? Doc is a swing for the fences guy. I'm a swing for the fences guy. And it's not because we're wild and impetuous. It's because that's how you win leagues. You have to, like in last pick or draft, you took Dyson Daniels this year. How'd that work out for you, right? Those types of flyers can win your league for you. So I'm not saying Bub Carrington's going to be a league winner next year, but Doc, let me give you these numbers, man. I'm pro Bub Carrington. We talked about him. He literally was one of the most talked about guys on the fantasy NBA today all year long. Bub Carrington was. You're like, we talked about him more than like Giannis and guys like that. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
Bub Carrington in 57 starts, okay, went 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. My man had 11, 5, and 5 PRA in 57 starts, Okay, 32 and a half minutes in those starts. He was a little light in the defense, to be honest with you. Probably at about 1 when you combine the steals and the blocks. And his 3 balls as a starter was like right at 2 per game. And he can build on all those numbers. The question is, will he be the Wizards' starting point guard this upcoming season? We could see a lot of movement. He is a first-round pick. The new regime drafted him, so they are invested in him. It's all like, all we can do is talk about it right now based on the roster construction that we know. Right now, he's the starting point guard for the Washington Wizards. And right now, I'm bullish on him in fantasy. So let me answer these questions. Does this ranking represent the player? Yeah. I think the 117 does, Doc. I'm okay saying that Bub Carrington right now is a top 120 guy. I'm okay saying that you or I or anybody can draft him in round 9 or round 10. And I don't think you're reaching or doing anything foolish or silly. I think that's all fine. It makes sense to me. Again, 11, 5, and 5 PRA with 2 threes per game and 1 defensive stat. That's top 120 for me. And I don't care about the shooting. Let me give you a shooting in the starts. I'm curious. As a reserve, Doc, he shot 37%. As a starter, he shot 41%. Again, I don't care about percentages, and I don't punt percentages. I don't punt them. It's not like I'm never looking at them. But over the years, I have figured out that they like batting average in baseball, dude, like ERA and WHIP in baseball. Those ratios float like the wind, bro, and they go up and down, and there's a lot of variability with the ratios. Way more variability with ratios than with counting numbers, and that's why I live in counting numbers, because they're more known than percentages. And think about it. Let's say you're stacking your team with all of these high field goal percentage guys. Well, guess what? There's a downside to that. You're probably losing points every week because volume leads to points. Volume also leads to decreased efficiency. So you're probably losing points to get your... And you're not winning field goal. I don't care how hard you try to win field goal percentage every week. You're not winning it every week. You're not. There's too much variability there. And then I damn sure know that you're losing blocks and steals. If you're going for the efficiency guys tend not to be the defensive goody guys. The defensive goody guys tend to be the maybe more inefficient guys. So that's just what I found over the years. So it's not like a punt. It's going to come out in the wash situation. All right, so let's move on here to Daniel Gafford. Another interesting name, Doc, at 118 here. That's 8-cat total ranking. 8-cat per game, 109. 9-cat total rank, 101. All says that he's a top 120 player. He played 57 games last year. So do you view Daniel Gafford as a top 120 player heading into next year?
Second year in a row, he's averaged 21.5 minutes per game. Like, this guy does not need minutes to be a fantasy stud. I think the ranking does represent him. I like Daniel Gafford. I wish he did not play alongside Derek Lively. I wish that he did not play alongside Anthony Davis. I wish that he would be, why can't he just go somewhere and be the starting center? We've never really gotten to see it happen. Is him just being the alpha at center. And I think if we did see that, he would be an incredibly exciting player. But as it stands, Gafford's going to get drafted in a lot of leagues. A lot of people like him. A lot of people know that he doesn't need a lot of minutes to put up kind of obnoxious numbers: 12 points, 2 blocks, 7 boards in 21 minutes a night. So, yeah, I love Gafford. I just wish he got more minutes.
Blocks are hard to find, guys. Blocks are hard to find. Daniel Gafford at 1.8 blocks this year. The year before, he was at 2.1. And the years before were a little lower than that, but he was kind of an ascending player. He's going to be entering his age 27 season, so he is in his prime right now. And Doc said a bunch of great points. Like, even as the backup to Lively, knowing that he's going to be playing in the low 20s in minutes, he's still a guy that's not a waiver wire guy. He is a rostered guy. Doc said it, 12-7 with 2 blocks. Sign me up. I love it. And for you percentage nerds, 70% field goal percentage. And again, that's another reason why, like, that's not why I would take Daniel Gafford, right? I would take him for the 1.8 blocks. But it's a fringe benefit of taking Daniel Gafford. But that's why you can mess with a Bub Carrington, because you have a cat going 70%. That's going to like balance out, the horrible field goal percentage guys. That's why I don't sweat field goal percentage, because I'm going to have bigs that block shots and all they do is catch lobs and dunk. Guys, I still win field goal percentage, even though I never ever sweat the category. I still win it. Not every week, but I still win it. I would highly, highly recommend going away from percentages and living and counting numbers. It is a proven winning strategy. All right, so Daniel Gafford to me, Doc. I'm not reaching. He's an at-value pick for me, Doc. He's a 9th or 10th round guy for me, right? Alex Sarr's off the board. Zach Edey's off the board. Brolo's off the board. Like that sort of cluster of guys is off the board. Okay, then that next tier of bigs, Gafford will be in that next tier, and I will be taking him to get those blocks. And I would recommend you do the same. I do have him as a top 120 guy. All right, Jrue Holiday. Is he a top 120 guy, Doc? The numbers say that he is. Okay, 119, 8 cat total rank, 115, 8 cat per game, 107, 9 cat total rank. Very static, and it looks all like he's a top 120 guy. He played 62 games. Is he a top 120 guy heading into next year?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like, Jrue Holiday leaves Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's defense goes to crap, and everything falls apart, right? And then he goes to Boston. Boston wins it all, and him and Derek White make up the best defensive backcourt in the NBA. And then this year, Jrue Holiday, I didn't see him playing lockdown defense as much. The numbers were kind of lame. 11 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 threes. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And he's 35 years old. Next week, I'll be able to put the birthday hat on and get the party horn out. He turns 35 on June 12th. So he's going to be 35 before some of you even hear this or see this. So that's old, man. I'm out on Jrue Holiday. I think the numbers represent who he is and where you should take him, but I'm out on Jrue Holiday.
Me too, Doc. Look at this, man. This is a waiver wire stat line, folks. We talked about this. We have been on the decline of Jrue Holiday all year long. 11 points. You can't use that. 4.3 boards is solid for a guard, but that's not enough lipstick for this pig. 3.9 assists is terrible. 1.1 steals, 0.4 blocks. Well, actually down in total defensive stats. He was at 1.7 combined last year. This year, 1.5. 1.5 defensive stats is not paying the bills, man. At 1.7 3 balls. If you care, the percentages plummeted. He was a 50% guy in Milwaukee, then a 48% guy first year in Boston. This year, a 44% guy. His minutes were down to 30 a game. He's ascending in age. This will be his age 35 season. This is a no. I don't believe that. I actually don't understand how all of these rankings, because he didn't play that many games. He played 62 games. I don't understand how these numbers here through the algorithms of rankings make him a top 120 guy. This just isn't it. Is he even a top 150 guy? I would say no. Again, I'm taking Bub Carrington late in my draft over Jrue Holiday. Like, Jrue Holiday's numbers are, like, about what you're going to get, although there's been a decline with him. So is he suddenly going to stop the bleeding on that and, like, have a spike back up? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. And I think, look, I love him as a person. He's an amazing guy. Awesome career. Might be a Hall of Famer. Might. I want to stress that word 1,000 times. But he's a 2-time champion. He's over 16,000 points. Okay, so maybe. He's probably got to play about 5-6 more years to get that point total up a little bit because he's done making all-star teams and all that kind of stuff. So overall, I appreciate the guy, but in fantasy, I'm going to let other people mess around with him. And other people, Doc, will mess around with him because his name is Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
So he will be taken. He will be taken.
And you and I'll high-five each other and take a kid 15 years younger.
Exactly. And we'll be like, yes, Zach Edey just fell to me because the guy took Jrue Holiday in front of me. Yeah, I got Zach Edey, baby. I'm going to be I may have to get a Zach Edey jersey next year, Doc. I'm geeked about Zach Edey, bro. Okay, last guy. Dude, we have made it. Drum roll, please. Keyonte George at 120. 8-cat total rank last year. 8-cat per game was 127. 9-cat total ranking was 177. Looking kinda top 120-ish. He played 67 games. Do any of these ranking? I'll just ask you this way. I kind of like this, and you can take it wherever you want to go. Are you viewing Keyonte George as a top 120 guy heading into next year?
Probably yes. I like Isaiah Collier more, his teammate, but I like Keyonte. And I like Keyonte better than Bub Carrington, I think. Keyonte, his scoring went up from 13 points a game to almost 17 points a game. The assists went up from 4.4 to 5.6. The rebounds were up 1. The steals went up. The threes went up. The field goal percentage stayed exactly the same at 39.1, which is a problem. And it may always be a problem for Keyonte George. Just like I have a problem now that my father, who is in England, has decided to send my sister and I a text message with a group of like 12 people in it. So now I'm in the middle of a group text with a bunch of 80-year-old people, and my phone is blowing up, and I'm getting triggered, Rick. I'm not happy right now, and I don't think there's any way I can get out of it. They just got there. He just got there. He just got there today. So this thing's never going to die. It's only going to get worse. And
oh my God, I feel so bad for you, dude. It's so brutal. I had I'm in Brendan Haywood has a dynasty football league, right? And it's a very chatty league, and they have like a constant feed of an ongoing conversation. It's like all of B Wood's boys, right? So I'm blessed to be considered one of it. It's like his handpicked little group of guys, right? So they're all chattering and they got all this history together. Dude, I had to turn my notifications off, man. I mean, every damn time, bloop, 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 bloop. I'm doing the show with you. My phone is just lighting up. And, another conversation in the Carolina Fantasy Football League. Oh, my God. I hate group texts. I freaking hate them. They suck. They should go away. They should really, Elon Musk should just outlaw them. Doesn't Elon Musk make every law in the world now? Elon, just eradicate group text. Just put out an edict against group text.
There should be a thing that says, your father has put you in a group text. Do you want to accept or decline? I'm out, bro.
Yeah, love you, Dad, but no. Y'all octogenarians have your cool conversation over there, man.
Anyway, I love Keyonte George.
Andre says, you would hate my home league, NBA, FL. He said, we go 24/7. Look, dude, Doc, you're my homie, man. Like, Andre's my homie. Like, Eric Seitz and Jason Cleveland, like all these guys, Josh Einzig, all these guys we've been playing, my lifelong buddies, right? I don't want to be on a group text with my favorite fucking human beings on earth. Does that make sense to anybody? Like, the people that I love, the people that I would die for, I do not want to be in a group text with them. I don't. Text me individually. I don't want to be a ding, 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 ding. No. I'm out. Okay, so I owe you a take on Keyonte George here. I do look at him as a top 120 guy. I love the counting numbers from Keyonte, Doc. I love the upside here. I know the Collier thing, but he still played 31 and a half minutes. He played 67 games, started 35 of them. Jordan Clarkson is not long for this roster. Colin Sexton enters the final year of his deal, could be moved, okay? So maybe Keyonte starts, but I think with the high investment that they have in him, with the talent that he has showed, he is going to play 30 minutes. And with the minutes come counting numbers. And he's a young ascending player. So there's reason to believe that he's going to be improved on these numbers. Dude, I will rock with a PRA of 17, 4, and almost 6. Yes, 17, 4, and 6. Sign me up. 2.6 threes. Big yes. Sign me up. I don't care about the 39%. I don't. I freaking don't. Because I'm going to have Gafford over here rocking at 70. I'm going to have freaking Zubats over here rocking at 65, balancing that shit out. So I don't have to sweat it. 39%. Who cares? I love the PRA. I love the three balls. And I'll beat you in the counting numbers, and you might get me. Look, I'll take a 6-2, Doc. I love a 6-2. Oh, I lost field goal percentage, but I got a 6-2. I'll take that. That's how you rock, man. So I don't look at Keyonte. He's like exactly a top 120 guy, Doc. He's a 10th round guy for me. He's a 9th round. I don't know. Feels a little high. Feels a little high for him. 10th round feels like a sweet spot for Keyonte George. Doc, we have completed our top 120. Feels good, doesn't it?
It does. I feel like we've accomplished something. One thing that's cool is a lot of places that do podcasts and a lot of places that do fantasy content. Once the season's over, you sort of take a big break and you don't hear from anybody for a while, and everybody's like not us, man. We still go hard every single week, and that's awesome. And I hopefully y'all like it, and hopefully we keep doing it because it's fun. I love talking about Keyonte George in the middle of what month is it? May.
End of May, bro.
Let's go.
End of May, bro. We have just a few NBA games left, and then we'll be launched for real into the offseason. All right, little playoff check-in here. The Oklahoma City Thunder dispatched of the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 30-point mauling in Game 5, which was extremely predictable. The 8-point spread, I want to start here, Doc. And I have a lot to say about this, but the 8-point spread I was on it. I banged it before the game because there are games that I view, wow, I just kind of don't know I'm going to live bet it, right? And then there's games where I'm like, yeah, I feel good about this one. And you're also afraid of the blowout factor and the number just going. So you want to get in before the game, before it just starts to billow. Last night was Game 5 OKC in Minnesota was the perfect example of that, Doc. And what's crazy to me is you had an 8-point spread. All right, it was at 8.5. Some Minnesota money came in to drop it down to 8 before the game. So there was a little bit of belief in Minnesota that they could hang in this game, right? And it was crazy to me to see it's 11-3 Oklahoma City, timeout Chris Finch, and dude, it's like 5 minutes into the game or something. I don't even know. And I'm tracking the live betting, right? And it was already at like 12.5, 13.5. And I'm like, dude, it's only an 8-point lead. And it's like 5 minutes into the game. But it's like every single person on earth was like, blowout, money. And that number just went crazy, Doc. So now I'm looking at that like, all right, I got to monetize this. And so now I'm waiting on a little mini Minnesota run, right, to drive the number back down a little bit. And then you play that game of, you give it like a possession, another possession. You see a turnover. You see a horrible shot. You see Ant-Man with an air ball. You're like, oh my God, there's no end in sight to this bleeding right here. I got to get on an OKC now on the top as the escalator goes up. So I banged him at minus 15, minus 17.5, and minus 18.5. And then I should have done more, but I kind of stopped at that. Won all three of those bets, Doc. Won the $100 pregame bet. But that was a fascinating case study in live betting, that OKC and how that escalator just kept going up. You know what it reminded me of, dude? Do you remember when Cleveland smacked Miami by 800 points? Do you remember that game? They beat them by like 50 or whatever. Dude, watching the live betting on that, dude, it was insane. because I think I was at the store or something, came back home. It was the end of the first quarter, and I'm like, all right, let me get into some live betting. It was already Cleveland like minus 21.5 at like the end of the first quarter. I'm like, all right, and I still should have bet it because they won the game by 50, right? But at that point, you're like, I think I missed the boat. It's already like all priced out. I love live betting, dude. I get a kick out of it, man.
I did not live bet that at all last night. I had a parlay with Indy and Oklahoma City in it, and I was like, oh, I'm good with that. And I just sat and watched the blowout, and I told my wife, I'm like, it's 73-32 or whatever it was. Also, I told my dad, I said, how did I get in this text group? Y'all are killing me. And now he's gonna be all hurt, and he's gonna be like, oh, sorry, I was just trying to show you my trip to England. Like, dude, I mean, there were 10 people I don't even know. It's all just phone numbers. I don't know any of these people. Get me out. But anyway, I didn't.
But now you're gonna have to call dad and love on him and say, dude, I love you. I ain't mad at you. Your dad's all butthurt over there in England. Look what you've done, man.
Dude, I didn't. He did it, not me. But the game was a complete blowout. Actually, one of my good friends is in Oklahoma for something totally different, and her brother, I guess, surprised them with tickets to that game last night at the last minute. So they were there and sending me all these videos. I'm like, that's awesome. I get it. You're there. That's cool. But OKC, dude, they are so good, and I don't think anybody matches up with them. And I think they're going to be a dynasty. And that the post-game interview, and they're like, we're family. And, my favorite part of the season is when we hang out at each other's houses and watch the other games and just chill together. Like, it's too good to be true. It's not going to last forever. But right now, man, everything is perfect in OKC. They're going to be a dynasty. They're playing against the team of destiny and in the Pacers, I assume. They won last night. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
Doc, I want to I can't get into the dynasty thing yet. I can't. They have not won a finals game yet. I can't. I just let them win a championship. Like what was it? What morning was it? It was. I'm all screwed up on days of the week and stuff. Anyway, ESPN coming off the morning after OKC throttled Minnesota. Are they going to have a dynasty? I absolutely hate the question because who knows? Like, who knows? How do you debate that? Well, I think they're going to have a dynasty. Well, I don't. It's so stupid. How do you prove it? How do you substantiate it? Oh, you go into roster construction and draft picks and draft capital and all the great players. We all know all of that. That does not guarantee that they're going to rip off 3 championships in the next 5, 7, 9 years. It does not mean that.
They're already best team in the league. They're playing historic defense. I think it's safe to say now might be the best defense that we've seen, at least in this era.
I figured it out. Doc, I figured it out.
They still have all those number 1 picks.
I get it, dude. I get it. On the defense thing, I actually did some digging on this. That OKC has the best defense in a generation. That you have to go back to the no-fly zone Detroit Pistons with Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, and Rip Hamilton. That was the previous best defense. And then I would say before that, you go to the Jordan Bulls. And then I don't know who was before that. But what the secret sauce of the Bulls dynasties was not Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen doing their thing. Because that's not secret sauce stuff. That's the main stuff, right? Secret sauce is the stuff that's maybe a little hidden or whatever. Their secret sauce, Doc, was their defense. Their defense was unfreaking believable with Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant, Rodman, Cartwright, like all these guys, Charles Oakley, all these dudes. So that's why they beat everybody by 20, 25 points, because they're scoring over here and they're snuffing you out over here. Anyway, OKC has the best defense in about 20 years in the NBA, Doc. And I'm not saying they won't have a dynasty. I'm just not comfortable with it. If you are, rock it. It's such a like panel show conversation for me right now. It's just, I don't know. It's not like ringing in my ear well at all. For the Wolves, Doc, quickly here, they got to bring Naz Reid back, dude. There's reported mutual interest from both sides, right? Naz has a player option at 15. He is going to decline that and become a UFA. Teams are going to come after Naz, Doc. And so, but Minnesota's got to keep him. Like, they're going to fall back down in the standings, I think, if they lose Naz Reid. I think he's that important.
Yeah. And, you know, I saw something on social media today. It was Anthony Edwards and his Superman cape or whatever said "can't man," and that's the Thunder defense. They shut those guys down. As far as Naz Reid goes, they need Naz Reid back, dude. I love Naz Reid. I wish, in fact, if Naz Reid goes somewhere else, I hope he gets a starring role, because I don't like him playing in the shadows for that Minnesota team. But the Thunder defense is something to behold. And like Oklahoma or Minnesota had more turnovers in the first half of that game than they had field goals.
They had 9 points in the first quarter. 9. 9 times 4 is 36, bro. 36 would have been an all-time record, I believe, unless, the cats in the 50s with the short shorts. Somebody might have put 36 points up back then. I don't damn know. Andre's asking, OKC over under 2.5 championships in the next 5 seasons. Great question. I'm going to take the under on that. And it's probably going to be 2 championships. Look, I just feel like the dynasty thing is, you're taking the over. Dynasties just thrown around. These dynasties are rare. Very, very rare. All it takes is one major injury and your dynasty is, it's gone. Golden State already had theirs. But they would have won more if not for those injuries. They would have beaten Toronto if Klay and Durant didn't blow tires in that 19 NBA Finals. But I would take the under on that. And I think it'll be 2. I would estimate that in the next 5 years, they'll have 2 chips. And again, they might have a dynasty. I just think the conversation's a little bit too early.
It is early. It is.
It'll ring better with me when they win the NBA Finals this year, which we all presume that they will. By the way, the odds are crazy horrible right now. OKC's a minus 750 to win the Finals. That's just prohibitive. And SGA is a minus 600-ish to win Finals MVP. And again, that's prohibitive as well. You know what's not prohibitive? Our awesome stuff at sportsethos.com. We want you guys to head over there and give us some support. All of our work, all of our brilliant minds, the great work of Dr. A and everybody else, available at sportsethos.com. We pride ourselves on being competitive, taking no shortcuts, delivering the best fantasy analysis in the game, and we do. Our drive is simple, to be the best to win and to help you win with us, okay? So while you're at it, consider subscribing. The prices are as low as they will ever be, and our grandfather programs will make your subscription price incredibly cheap as we keep adding more and more value to the platform. So go to sportsethos.com and pull out your credit card or debit card, and it's low dough, man, and high content. We will help you make money. And then go get the Sports Ethos app from your favorite app store. We have the fantasy basketball tools, and our app is your ultimate edge. Blurbs on NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball. It's all at your fingertips. You don't have to search it out. You just pull up the app. Boom, 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 boom. Who's in, who's out, who's hot, who's not. You will know all of that stuff. All right, we have finished our top 120, and we are proud of that. Doc and I will be back next week on Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time with the next edition of the Fantasy NBA Today. This edition right here is brought to you by Bet Online. Big shout out to Andre Lemus, shout out to Dr. A, and I'm Rick Kamla, and we love y'all, man. Retweet us on your timeline, and have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.